ideally, the way we think sometimes is just the nature of history that pushes us into some corner. But otherwise, why should another Ghanaian university be so concerned to help another Ghanaian university to produce better outcomes?
Academic institutions in Ghana have been asked to prioritize benchmarking in the attainment of their mission and vision statements. Many experts in the field of education believe benchmarking is relevant for increased productivity and continuous growth. Benchmarking is a systematic process of searching for best practices, innovative ideas, and highly effective operating procedures that lead to superior performance. They believe benchmarking has even become more significant in the 21st century because of the issue of competition. Professor Isaac Lugina, a distinguished professor at Western University, Canada, and alumnus of the University of Cape Coast, has been speaking with ATLFM News on the subject at the sidelines of a Research Excellence Guest Lecture organized by UCC Directorate of Research, Innovation and Consultancy. Professor Lugina was a guest speaker at the event, and he delivered the lecture on the topic Building a Research Excellence Career or Institution in the 21st Century, the Importance of Quality and Benchmarking.
If you want to benchmark and compare yourself with the top, look at what you are doing well and what you are not doing well. Are we all on board in identifying gaps? Do people feel comfortable? You know, the problem with gap identification is that somebody always gets really angry, right? Because anytime you identify a gap, it's because something did not work, right? It's because somebody probably didn't have the vision. It's uncomfortable. Identifying gaps is always uncomfortable. And then the big question, how do we monitor quality? We are talking about quality and benchmarking. How do we monitor quality? That's always the dicey area.
Meanwhile, during the lecture, he lamented how universities in Ghana are churning out graduates who do not know the basics of research. He shares how in his line of work, he once encountered some students who completed university with first-class honors but were lacking in the area of research.
In my lab, first class, quantitative, don't know what what standard deviation is. First class. What happened?
Professor Lugina blames the challenge on the recent increase in students' population in the universities, but notes that the best solution is for universities to pay attention to the resources they need to successfully carry out their responsibilities, as well as the kind of knowledge they are imparting their students with.
I think it's probably much more of the numbers, because these days, when I was here, the whole university population was like 1,005. And now we are looking at the student population of 75,000. So there's a lot of overwhelm in the system, I think, that the rigor that you need is a little bit tough to implement in a class of 1,000 and something. I think, because how do you get enough laboratory facilities for very huge classes? So it's just challenging. But the best way out is literally to look at what the resources the universities need to produce the content that they want to do, which is part of the benchmarking. What content do you want to get into your students? And then how do we go about to make sure that they get that content? That's exactly part of the benchmarking process.
Reporting for TVUCC, Faustina Chimfua Quino.
Let's assume UCC is number one and UG wants to use us as our benchmark, as their benchmark. We don't want them to beat us, we want to be there. How do we then give them our key and criteria? Thank you very much.
The whole idea is that it should be a collective, you should have a collective mentality of improving a system. The system is the nation, right? Right? So ideally, the way we think sometimes is just the nature of history that pushes us into some corner. But otherwise, why should another Ghanaian university be so concerned to help another Ghanaian university to produce better outcomes? But we are in a system where it's also messed up. so I hear you. I totally understand. Give them the wrong piece of advice.
If I can come in. Let me come in.